Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Amit, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about a bunch of questions that I had for the clinic that I went to in Istanbul, Turkey for my hair transplant. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, I got a hair transplant a couple months ago in Istanbul, Turkey. I've been documenting my entire journey from the day after I got my hair transplant up until today, which is about nearly 5 months now. And I've been trying to showcase as many tips along the way for somebody who's wanting to get a hair transplant or for anyone who has already gotten their hair transplant. Hopefully my transparency can relate to you guys and help in any way possible for you. If you like this type of content, do consider liking and subscribing because I try to post as much as I can on this channel and I try to provide as much insight as I can about getting a hair transplant in Turkey. A quick overview of what happened to me when I went to Turkey. I got a hair transplant basically for my hairline and my mid-scalp. For me personally, I went to Istanbul, Turkey because I thought it was more affordable. I had great reviews of the clinic that I went to and it just seemed like a better option to me rather than spending so much more money here in North America. So I decided to take that journey and go all the way to Turkey, get the hair transplant done. The clinic I went to was Vera Clinic. I got an FUE hair transplant from them with 6,100 grafts extracted from my donor area and placed onto them with the top of my head. If you've been following my videos, you definitely know that I've gone to them. I'm in no way sponsored by them, but I do want to say that they did a great job for my hairline and my mid-scalp. My crown not so much because that hasn't been done yet. I do intend to go back to Vera Clinic actually to get the crown done, but right now my hair is looking great. After 4 or 5 months, the hair has practically been restored and I'm very, very happy with that. Now, before any of this actually ever happened, I also went through my own process of doing extensive research on the clinic that I wanted to go to, which was in the end Vera Clinic. But prior to that, I definitely had a lot of questions to ask. And at the time, I didn't know what type of questions to really ask. But the ones that I did ask, I want to relay them to you guys. So hopefully someone out there who's trying to get a hair transplant, maybe not even just from Vera Clinic, but from a different clinic, you can apply these questions to them as well. And hopefully you get the responses that you're looking for. But for me, I'm going to be going through the questions that I asked Vera Clinic at the beginning of my journey and hopefully provide the answers to you guys of what they had responded. And maybe if you've already had your consultation or if you're planning to get a consultation, you can compare the answers and make sense to you if you decide to go with them. Full disclosure, I did speak to a bunch of different other clinics, but in the end I chose Vera Clinic because I was happy with their answers and I was pretty confident from getting results from them based off of other people who have gone to them and some personal friends who have spoken to me about them. So again, I'm a big advocate of them. At the beginning, of course, if you saw my first video about them, my first honest review, it was definitely a shock. But as the months that have gone by, I'm seeing results, so I can't complain too much. But of course, this is just a preface for you guys. If and when you do decide to go to that clinic, you know what to expect. Also, if you are interested in going to the clinic that I went to, there's a link in the description below. You can click on them. It'll take you straight to their website. You can book a free consultation with them and ask them basically all the questions that I'm going to be going through here today. So hopefully that will work out for you. There's a lot of questions, so I'm just gonna read it from here. First question, how many patients does your clinic usually take in a day? Now this question was pretty important to me because for the affordable price that they were offering, I always felt like there would be a lot of patients that want to come down to Turkey to do this. I didn't want it to be an overcrowded clinic because I feel like if that was the case, they wouldn't really give that much care and attention to me as a patient. They did respond saying that they usually take 8 to 10 patients a day and usually there are 5 doctors that do the procedures twice a day. So that understanding, I figured that's not so bad. If one doctor is taking care of 2 patients, that kind of made sense to me, so I went with that. I then proceeded to ask roughly what time and how long do these procedures take, which they responded they have 2 timings, usually at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. There's always a morning session and then there's an afternoon session. And generally, depending on how many grafts you have, what's the procedure like, it can take up to 6 to 8 hours. The next question I had was, do I need to bring anything along with me to the clinic before my procedure? They did say I didn't need anything, and rightfully so. When I got there, I genuinely didn't need anything. I did bring a backpack with me, but that was just to have like my passport or my own valuables that I had with me, or even a small snack. But generally they provide everything for you then and there, so you don't have to worry about bringing anything to the clinic. So my next question was another important question. The question was, who is the doctor for my procedure and will I get to meet him or her before the procedure? They then responded saying that they wouldn't be sure who's going to be operating on me because at the time I had not booked a date with them. They said that maybe once I do book a date, it will be a bit more clear on who's going to be proceeding with me or which doctor I'd be meeting with. But as of then, I didn't have an answer for that. But then my follow-up question was, can I do a Zoom call with one of these doctors? Because again, at the end of the day, I was going to a foreign country. I wanted to know who I was getting myself. in bed with. But it would have helped tremendously if I had spoken to a doctor prior to going there. But they told me that the doctors are generally very busy and they don't really have that much time to sit on a Zoom call, at least at the time when I was asking these questions. Maybe now it's a little different, I'm not sure. But they did assure me that any questions I had would still go through to the consultant, and the consultant would relay them to the doctor. And whenever the doctors have time and when they're free, they relay those answers back to me. They also did mention that even if we did a Zoom call, because my main concern was I wanted them to see my hair, right? I wanted them to see what's my condition. Maybe they can give a better analysis. But they said that it would have been the same thing as me sending the photos that I had initially sent when I did sign up for Vera Clinic. So wouldn't have made too much of a difference. But they said that on the day itself, when you do arrive, they do do a microscopic analysis of your head, and they check everything, and then they let you know prior to going into the surgery, which truthfully enough did happen. When I got into Vera Clinic and I met with the doctor, he did examine my head. He gave me his own analysis about what kind of goes on. Of course, there is a language barrier, so a translator was there telling me all these things, but you know, I had to kind of believe what they were saying. But again, the results are shown, so I'm not going to complain too much. Question I had was, will there be any support besides taking aftercare medicine from the clinic or from the doctor? Will there be check-ins? Will there be people to follow up on you? They did respond saying that the doctor does check up on you the next day of your procedure. So that did happen for me as well. After the procedure, the next day I spoke to the doctor, he examined me, everything was all good, everything was okay. He just kind of told me what to expect and how to kind of deal with it. And then after that, my consultant does follow up throughout the year with me. So far it's been about three times, I think, he's followed up with me. And you know, again, they send emails saying to send updated pictures, or if you have any problems, let them know. And rightfully so, I do text them if I have any scares or if I'm worried about something. But generally, to be honest, I've been okay. But my consultant is super helpful. He does respond pretty promptly to me. So again, the support is always there for you even after your hair transplant's over. My next question was trying to book a date with them. I did mention my plan to visit Istanbul at a certain date, and I wanted to book at the time, it was the end of February, and they said yes, there was availability. But of course, I had asked this way in advance in October of 2021. I wanted to book for February 2022. So for me personally, I had a little time before I decided to choose it. But if you're looking to book with them, definitely consider booking in advance, because I hear that Vera Clinic now is getting really busy and packed, and of course the prices have increased apparently. But if you are considering with them, definitely consider booking way in advance. The next thing I asked was, how was payments made? Because again, going to a foreign country, I didn't want to be ripped off, or I wanted to pay the right amount accordingly. But they had told me that I could pay in cash, and paying in cash meant there was 0% commission. So you just pay what is advertised to you in your package. There's also another option of credit card, which you would have to end up paying an additional 8% off of your credit card fees. I went with the credit card. The only reason was because I just didn't want to carry around that much cash in Istanbul, because it was, again, my first time. I don't know what to expect, so I was okay with paying with credit card. Something you don't want to risk, you know? But also then you pay more. But anyway, it's fine. For me, again, it was okay. If you're comfortable carrying around that much cash, you'll pay 0% commission on that. One tip is don't bring 500 euros, because that's what they said, don't bring that. Just anything else is fine. Lastly, I had asked them if everything's all agreed upon, how can I go about booking an appointment with you? So they told me that I have to find the flight that I want to go to Istanbul first. Don't book that yet, but let them know immediately. They will check on the availability in their clinic if they have space for someone to come down for a procedure. Once they confirm that, they'll let you know, and then you can immediately book your flight to Istanbul. It's a little back and forth, but you know, it's pretty fast. That's pretty much most of the questions that I initially asked my clinic. Of course, if you guys have any other questions that you think are appropriate to ask a clinic before a hair transplant in Turkey, leave them in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you guys have asked your clinics, or what you think I should be asking, or I should have asked them. Yeah, it would be great to just hear from you guys as well. I've also left all the questions that I've talked about here on today's video in the description below, so you can copy and paste them and use them if you need to when you're trying to talk to your own consultants. When I first was looking for my clinic, I again had no idea what to ask, so I think getting questions out like this is a good thing for those who are trying to get a hair transplant, especially from Turkey. Getting a hair transplant in Turkey is quite daunting, especially if you're on your own, like basically what I did for myself. But ever since then, I've had more confidence about talking about it and just getting information out to you guys as well, because I don't know, it kind of makes me happy to make other people happy at this point, and I just want to try to help as many of you as I can. So again, if you guys are enjoying these type of videos that I've been posting, definitely check out some of the links below that I've had. I did try to start a GoFundMe page to get some donations to hopefully be able to afford my second hair transplant for my crown area and film as much as I can while I'm in Turkey with the clinic. You know, if that works out, great. If it doesn't, I'll still try to figure out a way to do that. If you haven't checked out my last 4-month update, you can definitely kind of find it somewhere here. But of course, if you're enjoying these videos, do consider liking and subscribing. Don't forget to turn on those bell notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.